Look, I think it's under attack. You've got too many formats, and is cricket cannibalising itself a little bit with bilateral stuff suffering? Test matches, 50 over, T20, and just for a while now, there's been a bit of T10 bashing around. Oh, 100%. I think someone like a Martin Guptill, who didn't play in the end, didn't bat. So his time's really up now for New Zealand. He should have been, he could have been arguing, possibly doing a bit more with that. But he's also, people understand that he's got a young family. I think he's got a 2-year-old and a 4.5-year-old. So fair play to him. He was prepared to sacrifice the time away to be playing more in New Zealand, so he could be with his wife and 2 young children. So again, it comes down to choices. Do you keep playing just a bit of Test cricket and 50 over, or do you sacrifice that, relinquish that, and go on the franchise circuit at the risk of perhaps not having your central contract anymore? And so Trent Boult, he's gone down that path. He hasn't got that much longer left. So, you can understand he's wanting to make a bit of hay while the sun shines for his family back in New Zealand. Yeah, I think it's coming under more and more scrutiny, a lot more pressure put on it. There's been talk for a long time to cut it back to 40 overs. Tough when it's a Cricket World Cup that's been going since 1975. And even back then, wasn't it? It was like 60 overs. Then they reduced it to 55 and then 50. But I don't know. It's an interesting dynamic, and you could talk for hours on it because of the financial factor, the advertising element to it. I mean, it's amazing. You've got 100 overs possibly, and as we know, between every over you go to an ad break. So that's powerful for revenue stream and everything, and survival of the game. So look, I think it's under attack. You've got too many formats, and is cricket cannibalising itself a little bit with bilateral stuff suffering? Test matches, 50 over, T20, and just for a while now, there's been a bit of T10 bashing around. They want to find a format for the Olympics. The women just played the Commonwealth Games there in England and played the 2020 format. Some other captains have said, well, it's about just having some exposure of cricket at the Olympics. And so could that be T10? Quick fire turnaround. But then again, you're losing the essence of cricket and what it's about, isn't it? Sort of just compiling it, and then sometimes you get a bit bogged down, but then you can work it around, and all of a sudden you unleash because you've given yourself a chance to be in there. Everyone's like, you're getting behind the rate, or it's too slow, and then all of a sudden you can click in. And that's where the 50 over game requires partnerships, a little bit more lateral thinking and strategic, as opposed to T10 or T20. I think, well, Mayank, again, these guys have got a lot of experience, and you play so much cricket in India. So I don't mind. I really don't. And I think, again, like a lot of guys, you can't keep trying to churn out so many matches and captains that captain more than one side in the different formats. Puts a lot of pressure on players. So something's got to give eventually, isn't it? A lot of the players will go, I'm not going to do Test cricket, I'll just play 50 and 2020. Or there's a lot of guys say, look, I'm a Test match specialist, and I'm not going to play much of the white ball at all, maybe a bit of 50 over stuff. So then the captaincy comes back to guys that have been around, understand strategically what can change very quickly and can adapt very quickly on their feet. So, I don't mind that change.